NBA basketball. Along with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. We've got one more great treat for you folks. Joining us on our broadcast is Shams Charania. Shams, so great to have you with us. Thanks for taking the time to take a seat and join us here courtside.
Star-studded group, the pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you guys so very much for having me aboard.
Look at the smile on Brent Barry's face. He is thrilled to have you here courtside with us.
Absolutely. Super excited about it.
We'll see Utah matched up against the defending NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. That's Brian Russell, and it's Hornacek in at the shooting guard position. Ostertag against Porzingis. Lets it go from 11. Shams, no team is going to run off titles like Boston did in the 60s. These Celtics have a chance to win their share. What a great start for them.
An absolutely loaded roster to find a weak link, and it's really championship or bust in Boston.
And it feels so great for their coach, Joe Mazzulla. I know we'll get into that down the road. What a great job he's done.
A young coach who has really found his stride.
Finish through contact, an essential skill for an NBA player to master.
Now, here's Stockton. He takes it in. The Jazz shooting their first free throws of the game right now. Free throw good, Stockton.
A phenomenal floor general. Stockton is a prototypical point guard who excels at making his teammates better.
You can tell he's feeling confident right now at the line, and when he's on, he can be lights out.
Brown, the pass to Holiday. Drains the three-pointer. On the way to CBA, introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes and less of a chance of super teams and just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax, it's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron. And that, certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trades, to be able to sign players for more than the minimum. And we're seeing that happen to at least one or two teams around the league right now. So how will that impact things? But certainly the CBA being 50, 60, 70 pages, that's something you pour through before every calendar year.
It is just fascinating. And things can get so intense when NBA rumors start flying, Shams. You know that. The teams are just kind of holding on sometimes for dear life. What is it like when you break a major NBA story, like you've done numerous times?
It's like when your heart skips a beat, Kevin. It's like when you feel like you are in such a rush and there's a surge of excitement that hits every particle of your body. Every profession obviously has a big payoff, but everything happens so fast. But when it happens, it makes all the hard work worth it. But it certainly brings a great feeling. And I definitely get goosebumps to this day.
You get goosebumps, but the hard work you put in to get that story, I know what you guys go through. It is amazing the hours you spend.
365, 24/7.
Yeah, better than giving up the layup. You want to go in there and use the hard foul. They did it there. That's aggressive attitude defensively.
Now here's Stockton. Pass to Hornacek. Wants to get it to Malone and does. Over Tatum. Malone, you know what?
He's got so many ways to score in the post. Just nifty, uses fakes. You have to have a body on him every time he's down there.
Jazz trail by 3. And the influx of international players continues to just fill these rosters in the NBA. And Shams, it has truly become a global league.
It's truly a beautiful thing, right, Kevin? We want sports to bring people together, to really galvanize communities, no matter your ethnicity, no matter your gender, anything. And now I really feel we're breaking down a lot of barriers in the world.
I think 3 of the top, 5, 6 players, we got Doncic. We've got Porzingis, of course, who is such a nice player, but out of the Kumbo. And Jokic. I mean, the names go on and on of key contributors to winning teams.
You have to make a case that the world team against the U.S. team, if they were ever stacked against each other, that would be a heck of a game.
Well, you and I would pay for the ticket, wouldn't we? I would pay to watch that.
I'm willing and able to pay immediately, Ken. Sign me up. When are we going?
I hope soon. Now, here's Brown. After the miss from Derek White. Brown finds Porzingis. The offensive rebound. Lays it up off the glass.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Here's Isley. Anderson outside. Pass to Stockton. Another shot. Ostertag. From down in the low post. It goes.
You like how Ostertag fights for the boards. He knows those second chance points are worth it.
And Holiday kicks to Brown. And it's blocked. 6-second difference between shot and game play. And so Joe Mazzulla calls for the timeout. Looking for a breather and maybe just 1 or 2 things to talk about. So it's both teams making substitutions here. There's 25 seconds left here in the first quarter. Tatum passes to Pritchard. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist.
Love the selflessness. Tatum willing to give it up whenever he sees an open teammate.
To the paint, here's Keith. It's blocked. Here's Hauser. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And so it's the Boston Celtics in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their... And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The scoring breakdown for Boston.
And guys, I love the movement. Doing a great job of just getting the ball on a string, creating some opportunities.
Well, I want to add...
Unable to play. What are some of the solutions that may be being talked about that you hear about?
People certainly ask if this is a result of the 65-game rule. Is it a more physical play? Is it the consequences of the regular season? The league is going to take a wait-and-see approach to determine if this is an issue they have to fix. But they do love the results of what this has brought as far as player availability moving forward.
Yeah, they do seem sold on that 65 number, don't they?
100%. And at the end of the day, some of these injuries are flukish. There's a lot of obviously lower body injuries, and you can't measure that. I think the league is going to want to see more data over the next 5 to 10 years to really determine, does this rule impact the game and impact injuries?
So with Stockton on the bench, here's who's on the floor for Jerry Sloan. We've got Foster. Hornacek's out there with Isley. And it's Keefe, and it's Anderson in at the 3 spot. Here's Pritchard. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
Another good play. This is how they built the lead. Calling on the right guys at the right time.
Basketball IQ is something that gets talked about, but its importance to a team showing up here, running plays that turn into scores.
And it's Foster missing. Boston leading by 14. Well, we can all agree nothing better than the atmosphere of an NBA game. So, Shams, I know it's hard to pick one. But is there a best crowd, a best atmosphere in the NBA that you've come across that you really appreciate?
The Warriors fans, I feel, even at their peak, they bring a different level of aura, of enthusiasm. Kevin, you've been to more arenas than I have and more celebrated times as well at different points. What's your favorite, what's your best NBA arena?
When that New York crowd is popping, that arena is second to none, man. It is sizzling. Like you, I love knowledgeable fans, right? They know the calls, they know the officials, they know the strategies, they know what a player can and cannot do. That, to me, is the best part about going in some of these arenas and feeling that the players, have made it to a point where the fans know exactly what they can and cannot do. Knowledgeable fans.
I'll take your word for it, but that just means I have to get out to a Knicks game.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, well, like a lockdown corner in football, teams just try to keep the ball away from Jrue Holiday. He says, I feel like they're not afraid of me, but like, okay, get him off the ball. To me, that's respect. I don't need other people telling me how good I am. You can see it by their actions. Kevin?
So true. He can be intimidating, David, and we thank you for that report. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge for an update on Jaylen Brown. David?
Hi, guys. The head athletic trainer for the Celtics provided some information to us. And this is an unfortunate injury and potentially devastating for him. Really not the way you want to start the season. Some bad luck right out of the gate. Kevin?
Good information, David. He's certainly been on our minds. Now, at least, Greg, we have a little more clarity.
Yeah, now they have the information they need to take the best course of action.
Everybody wishing the best for him. We all know how badly he wants to be out there playing alongside his teammates and competing.
For Utah, they have been perfect at the line so far, albeit just 2 for 2. Free throw good, Stockton. Hey, Shams, I know you cover the league like no one else, but I've seen your jump shot. You have a sweet J. You must have played organized ball, I'm assuming.
I played a little bit in high school, Kevin, but once I got cut in high school, that's when I knew my career path would have to trend into what I'm doing now, into writing and covering the NBA. But listen, I have a lot of confidence in my jump shot, watching the players like Steph Curry shoot the basketball. I'm not trying to give any comparisons, but I do love to shoot the ball. That is the one thing I know I can do decently.
I know. I love your answer.
Not much else, but I can shoot.
A nice shot by Tatum.
Yeah, and their shooting really starting to pick up here in the second.
Jazz trail by 16. Here's Anderson. And it's White with the rebound.
Not going to see that very often. The defense in the vicinity, but still, he's not one to blow layups.
Got that one up quick. Tatum's got 5 points now in the quarter.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
And the Jazz call time here. Al Horford is checked in for Boston. Isley's checked in for Utah. Utah with the ball. Pass to Russell. 1:35 left in the first half of basketball. A shot by Isley, no good. Shams, it's been fun. And you know what? It's been too short. So you got to promise you're going to come back and give us some more inside information on the NBA. We have loved every second having you here courtside with us tonight.
Sorry I was not able to break any big news on air this time, but you know what? My phone's ringing, so maybe next time.
Well, let me look at your phone. Wait a minute. Hold on. That is big news! Holy cow! Come back sooner than later, okay?
Thank you.
So great to have Shams stop by. You can see his passion for the game in every word he says.
You can't work as hard as Shams does without having a passion for the NBA. It's not easy to be that plugged in.
Malone, a screen on Holiday. Stockton the pass to Keith. It's Russell with the drive. Will it go? Outside for Stockton. Tries again, and Utah turns it over again for the Jazz. Ostertag comes in for Keith, and it's Hornacek in for Isaac. We've got 33 seconds left now here in the second. Outside, White. And the three off target. And so Stockton will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. 17 seconds left in the first half. Malone dishes to Stockton. Hornacek outside. 6 to shoot. Porzingis with the block. And they get it back. And so it's Boston, sitting on a 21-point lead to end the quarter. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. We'll return shortly.
Hello and welcome. First up, folks, let's take a moment to see how things are shaking down in the Rookie of the Year race.
We know the draft's an inexact science, even with all that prep that goes into it. So congrats to the teams that chose these.
And moving over to the first half of our game, guys, what has gotten into Porzingis?
Playing with that high motor.
Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. Now here's Stockton. The post pair. Tatum and Porzingis. White in at shooting guard, with Brown playing small forward. And it's Holiday in at the point. And that's the group for Joe Mazzulla as we begin the second half. Stockton with no one around him. Cans it from downtown. Stockton's got the first basket of the second half. That one for the Jazz. A moment for an injury report.
Thanks, guys. I got a status report from the Jazz's head athletic trainer. Oh, that is not what you want to see. It sounds like it's a serious injury. Right in the thick of the season, this is a major blow. We'll see how this group of players responds going forward. Back to you guys.
All right, David, thanks. Well, guys, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
And not at all. I mean, it sounds like he's got a long road ahead of him in terms of his recovery.
Yeah, and this makes it particularly rough for this team. Other teammates now are going to have to step up, and it seems like it's going to be an extended period of time, so not easy to do.
Porzingis finds White. A three-pointer off the mark.
Even if you're not shooting it, you like to see the effort level, and his tonight has been high.
Here's Stockton. Rebound by Drew Holiday.
And another miss. Oof, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Outside Tatum. This ball movement by Boston. Sinks the three-pointer. White's got a pair of threes now here in the third for Boston.
And Tatum is all about doing what's best for the team. Superb as a ball mover in terms of finding his teammates.
Time called here. The Jazz decide to talk it over.
Let's get one for Celtics.
On the wing, Stockton, guarded by Holiday. The shot's good from Stockton.
He was sitting back a little bit there in the first half, but feels like showtime now, and he's ready to put some major points up on the board.
Brown kicks to White. Pass to Holiday. Fires from 18. Tatum's shot is off.
His touch from mid-range, that's almost always good. That won't shake his confidence.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. With the CBA and new broadcasting deals both completed, league talk now turns to expansion. Commissioner Adam Silver says if you're a successful organization, I think it makes sense over time to continue to grow. There's no doubt that there are a lot of great cities we're interested in having in the NBA. Kevin?
So right, David, we could lay out 3, 4, 5 cities right now that would beg to have professional basketball. The Jazz have looked good at the line today. They're perfect in 4 attempts. Brent, we know that the NBA can be compared to any league in the world, and it is regarded as the best. But as someone who has won titles like you have, is it world champs, or should we just leave it at NBA champs?
Well, Kevin, it's a really good question, and I don't know what side I lean on. I prefer to talk about being the NBA champs. I mean, out of respect for what the world competitions represent, I think NBA champs is just fine.
Down low, and stolen by Tatum. Brown with it. He's picked up by Russell. And there is White, and that's good on the assist by Brown. Brown's got 3 assists in the game. Stockton against Holiday. Hornacek outside. Outside, Russell. Here he goes. Pass to Malone. A second chance effort. And that one off the back of the rim and in.
A lethal shooter from mid-range. Malone loves taking those shots when the D gives him the space.
Outside, White takes a 3. Rebound by Hornacek. Hornacek's got his 4th rebound in this one. And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Holiday. And now look at the upcoming schedule for the Jazz. On Tuesday, they'll tip off a homestand starting with the Houston Rockets. Then on Wednesday, they'll be taking on Victor Oladipo and the Chicago Bulls.
And Kevin, I think you have to look at this as an opportunity to take a step forward. Sometimes tough road trips can bring the best out of a team and bring you closer together.
Pritchard, he's checked in for Derek White. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Solid work at the line a season ago. 83% on his opportunities.
And he knocks down the first one.
And looking at Tatum's game, you know, he really doesn't have a weakness. He can give it to you in a variety of ways.
Jazz trail by 18. Hornacek outside. Malone, a screen on Holiday. Here's Hornacek. Again, the Jazz score.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation. Well, if he's going to keep shooting, they've got to run some plays for him. Screens, pick and rolls, anything they can do to get him started.
Stockton outside. Back to Hornacek. Anderson outside. 4 on the shot clock. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Hornacek, no luck.
Well, that's the only way to take him out of his comfort zone from that range. Get right up in the jersey, force him off the spot.
Boston again missing. Jazz trail by 16. Malone outside. 54 seconds left to play in the third. Pass to Hornacek. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. The Jazz shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here. And he makes the first for the Jazz. Keefe is checked in for Ostertag. Morris comes in for Karl Malone. And Isley subbed in for Stockton.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Pass to Hauser. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Hauser's got 6.
That's pretty much not how they defend the three-point line. Somebody's got to shadow him out there.
There's 25 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Isley. A rebound by the Celtics. 22 is their biggest lead.
And really the smart thing would be to hold for the last shot.
Every second right now is valuable to you. That should be their strategy.
It's been this way since halftime. Tremendous production from beyond the arc.
Yeah, pretty infectious right here. Guys in good spirits and percentages from downtown on the rise in the second half.
And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Boston on top, delivering the blowout. And we've got more action coming your way after this break. And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same from the first three quarters. So with Malone on the bench, here's who's on the floor for Jerry Sloan. Brian Russell is out there with Keith. Then it's Stockton. Then it's Isley. And it's Anderson in at the three spot. To the left wing. Here's Isley, guarded by Tatum. Here's Keith. It's hauled in by Cornette. Cornette's got 5 rebounds tonight. Now Tatum. Pass to Pritchard. Good, and it's Tatum picking up the assist. Tatum's got 6 assists now in the game.
12 straight points off of three-pointers, and the D looks shell-shocked.
Anderson passes to Keith. In the corner, it's Stockton. Anderson outside. Shot clock at 6. Russell a screen on Tatum. And the shot goes down.
Everything they've done has worked.
Drains it from beyond the arc.
So many of the plays they're running designed to create opportunities from deep.
And I don't know how they keep doing this, but every time down, the resulting possession ends up at the three-point line and a fairly efficient shot attempt at that.
Greg, a lot of parity around the NBA. You think fans like that?
It's a great question, Kevin. And there are trade-offs, but as a league, you've got to foster competition and live with the results. And the reality is, doesn't it feel better when there are more teams that have a legitimate chance to win it all?
Out left to the wing. Outside, Horford. Nice ball movement by Boston. Lets it go from deep. A shot by Pritchard, no good. Here's the Jazz with the ball. Pass to Russell, and it's Anderson atop the key. Picked away. Here's Hauser. This one for 3. The shot's good on the assist by Horford. Hauser's got 9 points here in the second half. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Boston.
All game long, they've had active hands and really out in the passing lanes. And that aggression on defense has resulted in a ton of steals.
Well, if we add another thing to it, it's about the urgency they've played with. I mean, you look at the eyes of these guys. They're focused, wanting to get up tempo, and that's helped them score on the fast break.
And so Stockton will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Yep, it counts.
And I love watching Stockton drive it to the rim. Such a crafty player.
Smart, accurate passes, Greg, are really paying off for them at the moment.
And also good off-ball movement. Everyone is paying attention and looking to create the best shot for the team.
Buries it from three-point range.
Out of their last 5 makes, how about all 5 from long range?
Stockton outside. To the middle. Here's Keith. And it's blocked. Here's Pritchard. He's covered by Stockton. Cornette kicks to Horford. Got a piece of it. Stolen by Stockton. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter.
When you talk about guys who just know how to play the game, Stockton at the top of that list.
And the first one drops. Well, the most important event of the NBA calendar might be in June. And it's not the finals, but rather for so many teams, Brent, the NBA draft.
Well, Kevin, it's a chance for you to set the table for your franchise. What do you want to have for next year? What do you want to have 5 years from now? And so all the work that goes in, the scouting, the intel work, to build up a team where you are making the steps and taking strides to become a championship caliber team, that stuff starts at the NBA draft.
That one good for 2.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, you just can't afford to give up second chance opportunities again and again.
Pass to Hauser. Out to the right wing. And here is Craig. No good on the triple.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Up top, Hornacek. Goes up and lays it nice and easy.
And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Here's Pritchard. He's covered by Stockton. Here's Hauser. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Hornacek with it. Pass to Craig. Here's Pritchard. Out to the right wing. Now Craig fires the three. That's another one for him. His fifth in just 7 shots.
This arena was rocking throughout the night. You could really feel the energy.
A huge motivation, always great for a young team, but veteran players also appreciate when fans come with that kind of energy and get into the spirit of the game. Not getting old here, seeing him make that lead pass with perfect timing.
This has been a one-sided affair.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of extending their lead and maintaining that intensity level.
Hauser misses. Stockton looking around. Pass to Hornacek. Now here's Malone. Craig defending. The jump hook goes back up. Ostertag. Craig pulls it in. Here's Walsh. Here's Pritchard. Buries the long-range jumper.
Guys, he's been a one-man air raid coming at them time and time again.
Kind of like he's in his living room right now. He's found the comfort zone. Once he gets that, the defense knows they're in trouble.
And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by far tonight.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling